Williams syndrome was discovered in 1961, not surprisingly by Dr. Williams. The basic root cause of Williams syndrome is that there are 26 genes missing on chromosome 7. There are, however, a large number of physiological effects that make them easily identifiable. These would include a small upturned nose, a small chin, a long upper lip, dental abnormalities such as small teeth or widely spaced teeth, and they tend to have a wide mouth with full lips. Also, one of the most startling physical traits is a starburst pattern that occurs on the iris of the eyes in people who have either light blue or green eyes. It's sort of a thin webwork of white lines across the iris. One of the most interesting elements of the syndrome, though, is that the people who have it tend to develop perfect pitch, and they all have this natural innate desire to communicate with other people. They're often described in text as being overly friendly. The perfect pitch has a great deal of therapeutic value for them because this can be used to help them learn different things that they wouldn't normally be able to accomplish on their own. For example, a child who has no ability whatsoever to tell time can sing a song perfectly on key, perfect pitch, after hearing it only 2 or 3 times. Or a child who can't tie their own shoes can sit down and play the piano like they've had years and years of training. So what therapists have started to do is a technique that's commonly used with elementary school children, but they've taken it further. They take basic instructions for doing different everyday tasks, turn it into a song, and that way the people with Williams syndrome are able to remember it because they can remember and associate the song. So when they get in the shower, they can sing lather, rinse, repeat, and they can wash their hair on their own. Or they want to tie their shoes, they just sing a song about over, under, around, and through, and they've got a bow. Now, the thing about the perfect pitch is that it also ties into their communication skills. When normal people speak, there's a great deal of subtle intonation in the human voice that most people can't hear at all. And these slight tone changes can tell whether someone's lying, whether they're excited. It can cover the entire range of the emotional spectrum. And since these people with Williams syndrome enjoy communicating so much, and they have this perfect pitch that allows them to hear all these minor intonations that a normal person couldn't pick up under standardized circumstances, it makes them better able to understand what the people they're talking to are really saying. And since they have a almost compulsive desire to talk to other people, this makes them better able to respond to different situations in the course of a conversation. What makes the entire condition so interesting is that it acts as solid proof that a genetic anomaly can increase a natural inclination and ability for communication. You see, originally, for the majority of human history, human communication basically consisted of pointing and grunting. And then spontaneously all over the world, people just developed languages. This genetic fluctuation shown by Williams syndrome can actually give an explanation for that spontaneous event, because Williams syndrome itself, it's a genetic anomaly that has no provable link to genetics on a standard method itself. It's not hereditary at all. It isn't restricted to any single race. It's spontaneous, the same way humans develop communication skills in the first place. And we can actually take this a bit farther with proof by looking back at the social structure of early tribes. Every tribe always seemed to have a storyteller, basically. And their job would be to pass on the heritage, the history, the mythology, all the things that the tribe wanted to remember. It was this person's job to do that. And generally, this was done through a matter of using song. Almost everything that they used to pass on was in the form of a song. And for a person with Williams syndrome, where their ability to remember things is intrinsically tied to their love of music, this would be a perfect position. They love communicating with other people, and they love music. So it's almost as if they're specifically designed to maintain that role in a community. So this can give solid evidence of how that position in the tribal structure was actually created at the very beginning. Because the people who developed the communication skills first, through that genetic anomaly, would have built that role around them instead of coming in to occupy an existing role. And Essentially, that's all there is to Williams syndrome and what it means. Thank you.